Hi everyone, welcome to the Java course. When we design arrays, it is not always the case that we can only create one-dimensional array. Actually, we can create two-dimensional arrays, and the setup is quite similar to what we did for one-dimensional arrays. Let us see an example about two-dimensional arrays. First, I would like to introduce the rectangular arrays. That means for each row of the two-dimensional array, there is the same amount of number of elements. Of course, when we create a two-dimensional arrays of integer primitives, each of the elements are initialized to 0. This is similar to what we did for one-dimensional arrays. Okay, this is the setup of a two-dimensional array, which is a rectangular array. I have to use two pairs of square brackets after the int keyword. That means I'm going to set up two-dimensional arrays, and 3 means the number of rows and 4 means the number of columns. So altogether there are 12 elements in the array object referenced by the reference variable called myMatrix. Okay, we can check the number of rows in this matrix in this approach. When we use myMatrix.length, we are going to return the number of columns of this. The number of rows of the two-dimensional array. Let me see the result. Yes, it is 3. So I would have 3 rows in my two-dimensional array. And how about returning the number of columns? I can make use of a similar syntax. I can make use of this syntax called myMatrix 0.length. What does it mean by a 0 after the reference variable? It actually means that I'm going to pick up this row with index 0. So I pick up a row which is having an index of 0, and then from that row I count the length of that row. That means I will get the number of columns of the two-dimensional rectangular arrays. So let me see the answer. Yes, I will get 4 as the number of columns of this rectangular array referenced by myMatrix variable. So how can we assign a literal to an element? It is quite simple. Remember, initially, all the elements are initialized to be zeros if I'm setting up a 2D array of storing integer primitives. If I want to assign a value to one of the elements, I can follow this approach. 2 here means row index 2, and 3 here means column index 3. So I'm going to set up the element in the 3rd row and the 4th column to be 7. So it is quite similar to what we did for one-dimensional array, except that we mention one more dimension in the assignment statement. In addition to using the new keyword, we can also make use of the literal form of assignment. For this literal format, it is quite commonly used when we want to set up arrays of irregular shapes. What does it mean by a irregular shape? It means that for each of the rows in the 2D array, we don't need the same amount of elements in the column. We can see an example like this. Okay, this is another matrix called my matrix 2, and for this matrix I have 2 rows, and for the first row I have 3 elements, but for the second row I have only 2 elements. So the number of columns for each of the rows may not be fixed. We can change according to our requirements. So when I print out one of the elements from this 2-dimensional array, I can do something like this. For this printing statement, what will I get? Let us see. I would get 8. Why? Because I'm going to pick up the second row and second column. So I would get the second row first, which is this row, and the second element from this row is simply 8. So I would get 8 as the answer. So we still follow the rule that the index starts with 0. Okay, when we set up a 2-dimensional array in the literal form, we have to notice one important rule for Java. We can set up a 2-dimensional array by means of the literal form for the initial assignment only. That means we cannot change the 2-dimensional array contents by using literal form once again. What does it mean by that? Here, it is my intention to change the second row of the 2-dimensional array to this row that has 4 elements. That means I'm going to replace the row with 2 elements to another row with 4 elements, but Java disallows us to do so. Array constants can only be used in initializers. That means I will not be allowed to do so. If we really want to change one of the rows after the initial assignment, what can I do? I can do something like this. I set up another array, which is a 1D array that has a reference variable called new row. So after I've created a 1D array with the reference variable called my new row, I can put this reference to the original my matrix 2 array. Okay, here I simply change the first row of my matrix 2 array to this new row of 4 elements. So initially there were 3 elements in the first row, but now I would change it to having 4 elements in the first row. So my matrix 2 becomes this 2D array of irregular shape instead of the original one that has 3 elements at the beginning of the first row. So I can print out the elements from the given 2D array as follows. Okay, I'm going to print out number 9, which is the element in the first row and the 4th column. So let me see the result. Yes, I can print 9. That means my new assignment is successful. I can turn the first row from having 3 elements to having 4 elements. So if the 2-dimensional array is irregular, how can I print out all the elements contained in this irregular array? I can make use of a nested for loop to do so. How can I do that? I can create 2 for loops. First, I'm going to loop over the rows, and then I would loop over the columns. So after I've set up a row, I will go through all the columns one by one. Okay, how can I do that? Okay, let me explain the nested for loop. This quantity comes from the number of rows of my matrix 2. And after I have fixed the particular row, I go through each of the elements from that row. And the number of elements in that row can be denoted by this value. My matrix 2 in a particular row, dot length. That means I fixed the row and I will check the number of elements in that particular row. So in this way, I can traverse all the elements row by row and column by column. So let me see the result by running it. Okay, I can get all the elements in my matrix 2. My idea is like that I fixed the row and then I would print out all the elements in that particular row, and then I will go to the next row, and then from that row I'm going to print out all the elements from that row. So I will have this printing result in this order: 3, 6, 2, 9, 7, 8. So that is one of the ways to traverse all the elements in a particular 2-dimensional irregular array. So after the video, I would like you to understand that we can make two-dimensional arrays in the way that is similar to what we did for one-dimensional arrays. This is the end of the video. If you have any questions about my video, feel free to leave your comments on the comment section below the video. If you like this video, please give me a like and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.